Blender finally gets an edit mesh modifier with an add-on. So what you're going to want to do is go to preferences, get extensions, and search for the modifier list add-on. Download that thing and check mark it, save your preferences. Now your modifier list is going to be updated. It's going to look something like so. It's kind of like the old one anyway, so it's really nice. But the main thing is that they've added an edit mesh modifier. So let me explain how this thing works for you guys that haven't had any time in like 3D Studio or anything. So we're modeling something and we want to do some edits on this, right? We can add whatever modifiers we want here, like a bevel, for example. Crank up the bevel count a little bit, maybe. And then maybe we want to do some other stuff like a Boolean. So we're going to do a Boolean. And we scale this on down. We grab our mesh. We do the Boolean. I drop it. We'll hide it real quick. Okay, so we got this going on. And so what this allows you to do now is you can kind of work on your model non-destructively if you want for a little bit of time. And then you can go ahead and add an edit mesh modifier. And what this does is it turns it into like a copy of itself, more or less. But you can go into edit mode with this. So it freezes all your other modifiers up. And now you can go into edit mode and do things like unwrap this perhaps. So you don't have to destroy all your Booleans and everything to utilize this. And if you ever want to make additional changes or edits, like you want to do another Boolean perhaps, maybe we want like some kind of little detail back here. We can go ahead and just keep working. And we want to add a bevel to this. We want to do another Boolean. And we'll do a union. We'll pick that there, see? So some little things like this come into play. And now we can add another edit mesh. So it's like temporary little save states, basically. And so now, you know, we can hide that Boolean. Go into edit mode. We can fix the triangulation. We can fix whatever we need to fix here. We realize something is wrong on this mesh. Hopefully we didn't do too much editing because this doesn't toggle on and off or anything like that. You have to actually clear it out, perhaps. But let's see what happens if we actually modify that Boolean as well, that Boolean shape. Let's say we did the wrong segment count and we want to update it. You see, like it's not changing it. So yeah, you would have to actually go back and delete that, unfortunately. But you can go back, make changes now. Get the right one, say 4 segment. All right, and add another edit mesh modifier. So we can grab some edges and we can start unwrapping if we want. Let's just use Smart UV Project it for now, okay? We'll do that. Go to the UV editor. There we go. It is unwrapped. And let's say like last minute you decided, you know, this is not, let's just make sure these are going to actually hold in position for a sec. We'll just move them out so we can tell what we've changed. But let's see if we can add another Boolean and then do a another modifier and see if any of those UVs stick around too. It should. I imagine it will. Okay. So now we edit mesh. On edit mode. Okay, you can see we have this nonsense going on over here. GG twice, AM merged by distance. Bevel. Select it all, see what happens here. Okay, yeah. So the main thing is that this new Boolean shape, sometimes it gets things like this correct. And all we have to do is unwrap the interior side of this, maybe. Which already looks like it's doing pretty well. So maybe just this. All right. And now we're in business. We can keep working this way if we need to. Not guaranteed it always goes as smooth as possible. Even Max had issues sometimes when doing things after an edit modifier and edit poly or whatever. But it does usually go pretty well. So now if we were to go ahead and just do something like, let's just shade it auto smooth. Maybe we need to weight the normals. So let's go ahead and do weighted normal. Check keep sharp or whatever you have to, maybe. Face influence, all that fun stuff. I believe this is out of order. So we'll unpin that. Yeah. You see, for whatever reason, pinning it to the bottom doesn't make as much sense as having weighted normal last. So you'll have to like repin it if you want to pin it. The pin system's kind of useless in that respect. But the main thing is that it is actually working now, and you know it's there. So you can triangulate it, put that in there, keep normals, set up your game models non-destructively. Don't have to create duplicates of your mesh now, which is amazing. And I haven't tried this with like remeshers. Maybe it creates like a free state. That would be nice so that the remesh doesn't keep calculating all the time. That'd be amazing as well. I'll have to try that one out later perhaps, but some definitely things to experiment with. Now, just a side note here, one thing I did notice is that if you go ahead and start moving this out, right, and then you delete the edit modifier, right, you lose your booleans, right? The position of them is not recorded with it. So what you want to do is before you start moving things around, go ahead and all your different boolean shapes that you've created, you want to take these and parent them. So select your main object last, Control P, parent objects, keep transform. Parent those to it so that way they move with it. And if this is the case, now when you move it and you get rid of the modifier, they'll still be in the right spot. Okay. So just keep that in mind. There are some little caveats to this or whatever. There might be other things you run into, but for the most part, it works as expected. And that's great. So it's quite amazing that it finally made its way into Blender. It should have been done a long time ago, but it is here now. So, and with the modifier list add-on. Anyways, that's it for this one. I will check you out in the next one. All right. Take care.